Stop. Before you leave any comments, look at the title again. That is an M at the end. An M. Yes, that's right. You read the name wrong. It's okay. I did too. Given the language difference, I doubt the name was chosen to trick people, but looking at this game's message boards, it's just amazing how many people's brain took the word Pom and turned it into something more familiar. Hey there, this is Megablade J, and today I'll be reviewing Community Pom for the Sony PS1. Despite the easily misread name, Community Pom is a cute action-adventure RPG similar to the Legend of Zelda series. It was made by a Japanese company called Fill-In Cafe. They started out making games for the Japanese computer, the Sharp X6-8000. They soon branched out, making games for many different systems, until they went bankrupt in 2000. Some of their games included Mad Stalker Full Metal 4th for the X6-8000, Panzer Bandit for the PS1, and the, probably saying this wrong, Asuka 120% Burning Fest fighting game series. Community Pom takes place on a fantasy world named Arth. One night, the moon suddenly disappears, and strange bunny-like creatures called Poms fall from the sky. That same night, a girl named Lulu finds, plays with, and befriends the Poms. In return, they grant her a magic moon staff that lets her cast powerful spells. A few years later, and rumors of Poms attacking livestock spread around Lulu's village. Worried that the Poms are being framed for the crimes, she sets off to find and protect all the Poms scattered across the land and solve the mystery of what happened to the moon. The storyline is pretty lighthearted, funny, and never takes itself too seriously. Lulu is a spunky little girl that is packing enough magic to take down any foe, but still squeals with glee at the sight of anything cute. Her journey to protect her new friends will take her through monster-filled caves, complete side quests for unique characters, and battle foes like watermelon monsters and giant rock and roll skeletons. While the story is fun, like most Zelda-like games, the real draw is the gameplay. There are two main game modes: the Zelda-like action sections and the community town building sim. The action sections play like a classic Zelda game, complete with the top-down view. Like Zelda, you explore the overworld, battle monsters, collect new powers, and solve puzzle-filled dungeons. Lulu's basic actions include dashing, jumping, a guard that can block almost any projectile, and whacking enemies with her staff. That staff is not just for causing concussions. Once you find some magic tomes, Lulu can start casting powerful spells. These spells range from shooting fireballs, bombs, ice spikes, healing yourself, and teleportation. The spells are useful both in combat and in solving the game's environmental puzzles. Along your travels, you will run into bunny-like creatures called Poms. There are 16 Poms in total, and each have a special skill. Some of these skills include breathing fire or ice, using their tongue as a bridge, or destroying obstacles. In the field, they can follow you around and can auto-attack baddies, similar to Pikmin. There are even some foes that can only be killed or weakened by Pom attacks. 3 can follow at a time, so it's good to bring a good mix of abilities to handle whatever the game throws at you. You need to be careful not to let them fight all your battles though. If they kill too many enemies, they can turn evil and will transform into a moom. In this state, they will attack you and destroy buildings in your community. Speaking of which, the second part of the game is the town building sim, or the community portion. Get it? Community Pom. Because you collect Poms and build a community for them. Name makes sense now, right? Anyway, to keep the Poms safe, Lulu is given a plot of land and uses it to build a town for her new friends. Here, Poms will wander around aimlessly until you give them some food. Depending on what food you give them, they can perform certain actions. Some will make them build structures, like homes, that increase the Pom's health, attack, and defense, farms to make more food, or a stable to tend to and sell sheep for quick cash. When you collect a new Pom, they may unlock special buildings. For example, a store that sells unique items, or a place to play minigames. This is important as there are some quests that require you to grow certain food, or make a specific building to progress. While it may seem complicated at first, it's actually a very simple town building sim. A bit too simple at times. As said before, the Poms will not be productive on their own. Every time you want something done, you must feed them. Each food item will have them perform that task a specific number of times. When that number is up, they will stop working and go back to wandering aimlessly. As far as I can tell, the Poms won't keep working if you're not in town. Time seems to stop until you come back. So you can't just set things in motion, go on an adventure, and come back to complete a project. This can make projects that take a while, like the farm or stables, very annoying, as you have to stay in the community if you want it to be built. Now, to be fair, while waiting, you can busy yourself by tending to other projects, but it's still kind of annoying having to wait the entire time. Your community is not a complete safe haven, as it can come under attack. Random monsters will appear and cause damage to buildings, weakening your Poms. They can, however, be rebuilt and given a number of items to make them more resistant to future monster attacks. The music is pretty good. It's super happy, full of energy, and some tracks even have lyrics. It can be a bit loud at times, but didn't bother me too much. The graphics are bright and colorful and uses big 2D sprites. Every character from bosses to NPCs are surprisingly well animated. There are some bosses that can look super pixelated when they increase in size or jump towards the screen, but overall, the game does a good job at showing the PS1 skills with 2D sprites. While a lot of fun, the game does have a few issues. Around the end of the game, dungeons can have multiple floors and become very complex. This resulted in me getting confused and lost very easily. You can find maps and chests, and they do help a bit, but it's still very easy to forget where you've been and figure out where to go to next. Another issue is that the game does not explain some important features and abilities. For example, I was stuck for a while trying to figure out how to use the Pom's abilities to get past a certain obstacle. This is where I wanted to give a big thanks to the translators, as they took the extra time to translate the game's official guidebook. It had a lot of info that was not explained in game and was a big help. For example, I did not know that you could pick up Poms and that some needed to be thrown to activate their abilities. The book also contains concept art as well as interviews with the game's developers, so I suggest checking it out. Thanks, translators. Despite these issues, overall, I really enjoyed playing Community Pom. It had a fun, lighthearted story, Zelda-like hack and slash action, great 2D animation, and took around 13 hours to beat. This is another hidden gem for the PS1, and I would highly recommend it to fans of action RPGs, Zelda-likes, or if you're just looking for a fun PS1 game. If you want a physical copy, the game can be kind of expensive, with prices ranging from $80 to $180 online. This has been Megablade J. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the review, like the video, and subscribe to my channel. See you next mission.